Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. I have another wrestling update, wrestling convention video for you guys. Before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So last weekend I went to Squared Circle Expo. This was the sixth time they've had this event. It's an annual event. It's always been, I think, at the same hotel, the Wyndham, Indianapolis, right by the airport. It's really convenient for me too. I'm only an hour away from there. Unfortunately, one of the main people that I wanted to get their autograph and meet was Friday only. Then the majority of the other ones that I wanted to meet were either Friday and Saturday or Saturday only, and most of them were Saturday only. But anyways, before I get started, make sure to like, I already said that. Anyways, so yeah, Friday I went up, I did a Facebook Marketplace deal on a DVD lot of wrestling DVDs. So this is all wrestling related stuff. First up, I can't remember if I think I did talk about this already, but I got the Kyle Peterson complete guide to original San Francisco Toy Makers ECW figures. Reached out to him directly. I'll try to remember to leave the links down below to his YouTube channel. He's got a great channel, focuses mainly on wrestling figures, and he put, I 100% talked about this, to Joe, keep collecting, and signed it, so signed a bookmark and stuff. So pretty neat book. It has all of the ECW figures that original San Francisco Toy Makers put out. So I only have like one or two of these, but thought this was really neat, so I wanted to grab it. So yeah, I think I'll try to, I'm going to talk about the DVDs first if I can. So yeah, got this lot for 40 bucks. Some of these I'll keep, some of these I'll get rid of. I was kind of somewhat going back through this. Some of them are kind of scratched. Some of them are brand new. Thought this one looked kind of cool. We got a Survivor Series. JBL versus Booker T for the championship. Randy Orton, Benoit, Jericho, and Maven versus Triple H, Edge, Bautista, and Gene Stanicky. You got Spike Dudley versus Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero versus Billy Kidman. Eddie Guerrero, Big Show, RVD, and John Cena versus Angle, Carlito, and Luther Reigns. Undertaker versus Heidenreich. I don't remember him. Shelton Benjamin versus Christian. Trish Stratus versus Lita. Looks like this was 2004. So definitely plan on keeping that one for the collection. This one I think I have. I need to go back through, and I'm not sure on the WrestleManias. This is WrestleMania 29. Rock versus Cena main event. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Undertaker versus CM Punk. Triple H versus Lesnar. Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show versus The Shield. Ryback versus Mark Henry. Dolph Ziggler versus Big E, and Jericho versus Fandango. So pretty good WrestleMania there. This one I think I have too, but I'm not 100%. WrestleMania 28. Another Rock versus Cena. And we're missing discs. And I think, let's see, this probably goes with it. And this is scratched beyond belief. Trish Stratus, this is the Hall of Fame. Trish Stratus, Booker T, Bob Backlund, Donald Trump, and Bruno Sammartino. Oh, that doesn't go with this one. And that goes with this one. that was missing the disc there, which I probably wouldn't watch that anyway, but it's like the other discs are there. So yeah, we're missing discs on this one. See if I can find. I haven't really gone through any of this stuff yet, so there's one thing that you'll see is the main reason I did this lot. Next up, we got My Life, John Cena, which I think I did have this one. Which I love the wrestling documentary things. They're some of my favorite wrestling things to watch. Next up, we got WrestleMania 25th Anniversary, which I don't think I had this one. Looks like this is just kind of talking about WrestleMania. I don't know. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. And then here's another copy of that WrestleMania. This one also missing disc 3. So bizarre. Next up, we got a SummerSlam. This one looks pretty cool too. Edge with Lita versus John Cena. King Booker with Queen Charmel versus Batista. Big Show versus Sabu. DX versus Mr. McMahon and Shane. Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton. Ric Flair versus Mick Foley. And Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero. So definitely looking forward to checking that one out whenever I do. This one I was excited about too because I'm not a huge fan of his, which there's 2 of these in here, I'm pretty positive. I'm hoping. Yeah. This is just weird. This one's in better shape, it looks like. We got Randy Orton, The Evolution of a Predator, which I didn't have this one in the collection yet, so happy to add it if it's in good condition. This one I definitely had, so if you're interested in any of this stuff, let me know. I'll let you know if I want to get rid of it or not, because here we got 2 of these and I already had it. We got the Attitude Era, which this is really good if you haven't seen it. Here we got another WrestleMania 29. This one's sealed up, which I might keep that one and get rid of the others. I don't know. Don't think I had this. Greatest Superstars of WrestleMania. The Greatest Superstars of the 21st Century. I don't think I had this either. Allied Powers, the World's Greatest Tag Teams. WrestleMania 22. And there's some damage here. I don't know how I did on this deal. We'll see. Some of this stuff might be going to disc replay or something. This one's still sealed. Daniel Bryan. The Rock, I already had this one. I'll show that last. The Best of Raw and SmackDown 2012. WrestleManiac, Let the Face Off Begin with Rey Mysterio. Looks like this is a movie. 75 minutes, put out by Anchor Bay. Extreme Rules 2011. You got The Miz versus John Cena versus John Morrison. Christian versus Alberto Del Rio. Randy Orton versus Punk. Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross versus Michael Cole and Jack Swagger, and Michelle McCool versus Layla. Batista, I Walk Alone, I definitely have this. This one's in pretty bad shape. Elimination Chamber 2012. Punk versus Kofi Kingston versus Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz versus R-Truth. Daniel Bryan versus The Great Khali versus The Big Show versus Santino Marella versus Wade Barrett versus Cody Rhodes. John Cena versus Kane. Beth Phoenix versus Tamina Snuka. To be honest, to see how. Disc isn't too bad for the case needs replaced, but Best of Raw and SmackDown 2012. Wasn't that the other one? This is just a bizarre pickup if I ever had one. Yeah, another 2 copies of this one. So weird. I don't think I had this either. We got Unforgiven, Edge with Lita versus John Cena, Kane versus Umaga, Spirit Squad versus the Highlanders, Carlito versus Randy Orton, Lita versus Trish Stratus, Johnny Nitro versus Jeff Hardy, DX versus the McMahons and Big Show. Another copy of the Rock thing, this one in better condition. I think that I already had this too. Another copy of WrestleMania 28. A loose disc for the greatest superstars of WrestleMania. Where was that at? Where that goes, and it is scratched beyond belief. I should have checked all this stuff better. I did look at least one thing you'll see here. Figured it wouldn't be too bad, but some of it looks pretty good though. So best pay-per-view matches 2009 through 2010. UFC Ultimate Knockouts 8. Another copy of that Hall of Fame disc. DX, I definitely have this. If you're interested, let me know. Superstar Collection John Cena. This I think I have, so if you're interested, let me know. Edge, A Decade of Decadence. And then the 50 greatest finishing moves in WWE history. Shawn Michaels story, I think I have that one too. Undertaker 15-0, I don't think I had that one. And we got Hulk Hogan, I have this, so if you're interested, let me know. The Ultimate Anthology. WrestleMania 21, which I think I have this. And then here's the Crown Jewel. I need to go through all the discs, but they look pretty good. And I'm hoping everything plays all right. I've been wanting to get some of this type of stuff, so we got WrestleMania, the complete anthology, 1995 to 1999. So WrestleMania 11 through 15. And this is like some of the best ones. So really happy to add this to the collection. These go for a little bit of money. So like I said, really happy to add that to the collection. Don't know if the lot as a whole was worth it, but hopefully it ends up being a good gamble and purchase. So that back in there. All right. So next up, which I almost feel like I should wash my hands here. Met a couple friends at I headed to the Squared Circle Expo. From there, met up with a couple new friends who are friends of my cousin Clayton's, and Jimmy, the one of them. I reached out to both of them and asked if they were going, and they said that they were both days and everything. So I talked to Jimmy about Will Ospreay, so he's the main one I wanted to get the one day, and saw, I think on Kyle Peterson actually, his channel, this Will Ospreay figure that's really neat. So I asked if he had it or whatever. Somehow we were talking about it, and he said he got 2 of them, and then he offered to sell me one for, I don't know how much they were originally, but this was going for quite a bit of money. I think at least over $100. So he sold it to me for $45. Really happy to add it to the collection. This is Chase AEW figure of Will Ospreay. Just a really well done one. This is from the All In London Wembley exclusive, Wembley Stadium exclusives. This is what he wore for the All In that was there at Wembley, which I haven't watched yet. I need to do that at some point, but really happy to add this to the collection because he's kind of been one of my more newer favorites. So like I said, I ended up meeting him. So he was the main one I wanted Friday. So I got this poster here on eBay. I think I might have shown this off at some point. But we got Will Ospreay and Claudio Castellano, I don't know how you say his last name, but this is actually from the main event that friend of the show Cody and I went to, the last AEW show I went to. So it has the date. Unfortunately, it doesn't say anything about Indianapolis, but the match was so good. And here I got Will Ospreay's signature, and then Claudio's down here. Kind of wish he didn't sign in black, but Will's looks great in the white. So really happy to add this to the collection. I ended up getting it JSA certified the last day of the show. So that's all I did Friday besides this here. And I'm going to show some pictures at the end of this video and some small videos that I took while I was there. I kind of chickened out, and oh, and I forgot to mention Jimmy. The day of the Friday we were going, both of us going, and we ended up meeting up and hanging out during a lot of it. Asked if I was an Adam Cole fan, which I said I kind of like him, but I'm not the biggest fan. So he ended up just giving me this Adam Cole Chase AEW figure. So thanks again, Jimmy. Really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you and Derek those couple days. So hopefully we can get together again soon. So yeah, back to Friday. I also ended up, this is a poster that I used to have, or I guess never got rid of, from when I was really into wrestling. So Friday I met Jackie here, and she signed it. I thought it turned out great, and I got my picture with her. And then Saturday I got Tori Wilson to sign it, which I didn't think it turned out quite as good, but excited to add it to this poster. So we still got Lita, Trish, and Stacy Keibler. I think Stacy will probably be pretty hard to get her to sign this, but we'll see. And Trish and Lita are definitely a possibility. So, and lastly, oh, I forgot. I'll have to break here at the end. I also met one of my favorites. Part of the reason I'm wearing the NWO shirt, X-Pac, and he signed this figure that I had. And he didn't upcharge anything. He was $80 for a combo. I thought that was pretty good. He took a couple pictures, different poses and everything. So he was super friendly. So was Will Ospreay. Really everyone was friendly. But X-Pac, probably X-Pac, Jackie, and Ospreay were probably the most outgoing and nice of the ones that I met. So everyone was nice though. So yeah, I'm gonna break because I got one more thing to show. I forgot the two biggest items here that I ended up getting signed. So first up was one of the main people I wanted to get when who all was attending was announced. And gosh, this hotel is huge. It'd be really fun to go and stay there or right by there, since it's a 2-night event. They had wrestling both nights. Some of the bigger name talent was even wrestling, and yeah, Raven. I really want to get on my ECW chair, so I got him to sign right here. He didn't upcharge either, $40, so thought that was really good for him. So I'm pretty well almost done with this ECW chair, so really happy with how it turned out. Would love to get Taz, possibly Rhino, Paul Heyman on here if I can. But Tommy Dreamer, RVD, Shane Douglas, Al Snow, Sabu, Raven, Devon, and Bubba Ray, and Sandman are all on this chair. So really happy with how it's turned out, and I've had a lot of fun meeting the ECW guys and getting that signed up. And lastly, I was on the fence about, I wanted to get him at some point, but I didn't know when I was going to do it. I was like, well, I'll go, and I mean, he had no line at this point. I was getting ready to leave and ended up going and get my picture with him and having him sign my WCW. We got the WCW belt, and I got Scott Steiner, and he put Big Papa Pump on there. So really happy with how it turned out. Silver's perfect color for him to sign. And he was wearing the mesh headgear. I don't know what you would call that, in my photo, and I thought that turned out really well. So really happy. He was the first person I've gotten on this belt so far. Probably on the front, I'll do Sting or DDP or Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe even Booker T. But I want to get a few others on here as well. But I definitely wanted to get Steiner on here at some point. So I'm really happy to get my first signature on the WCW belt. So another wrestling related video, but I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I chickened out. I really wanted to go up to a couple people and try to get some short interviews, or at least ask a question and get it on film. I did think Will Ospreay, or say his match was one of the best ones I've seen in person, which was for that event of the poster. That was about it. I did tell X-Pac he was one of my favorites when I was watching. Yeah, I wanted to go up to CVV, Chris Van Vliet, or however you say his name, since he's another YouTuber, or he's kind of more than just a YouTuber, but he does do YouTube videos where he interviews wrestlers, and he's really good at it. And I thought that he might be willing to answer a question or two. I also thought about talking to Hollywood Haley J's mom about about the wrestler show when she didn't have anybody at her table, but I chickened out. So maybe next year. I did bring all the equipment I needed for it, so I was halfway there, and I feel like I was a little more talkative to the wrestlers than I have been in the past. But a really fun weekend. It was really fun hanging out with Jimmy and Derek, and yeah, like I said, I had a great time. I hopefully will be able to go to the next Squared Circle Expo. I don't know who they'll have, but I'm sure it'll be a stacked lineup, because it's really hard to decide who to get autographs of. I definitely had some people starred that I wanted to make priorities. Swerve Strickland with AEW. He was really tempting, at least to get my picture with him. There was quite a few other people that were pretty tempting. Lex Luger, I wouldn't have minded getting on the belt. I want to do that at some point. Wouldn't mind getting my picture with him either. But yeah, like I said, a really fun weekend. I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is the Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die.
Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man.